morning, television family. Good to see you again. We're back at it. We're going to work pretty hard today. Why not? It's almost the weekend. Thursday, second day of March 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. High clouds, 35 degrees. Pretty active weather today. Going to see some significant wind this afternoon and into the overnight hours and spilling into Friday as a pretty robust cold front. It's going to pay us a visit. And then we calm down a little bit over the weekend. Then another system calm down a little bit on Friday, and then another system on Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures below normal and heavy snow in the Cascades, especially Stevens, which has a winter storm warning posted. It's going to come down at the rate of 2 inches an hour on Stevens Pass starting later on today and lasting all the way through Friday night. They're going to measure the snow in Stevens in feet, and they're going to have windy conditions too. Forecast details are coming up. There's a lot of news to get to. Busy day in the bullpen, not only yesterday, but this morning as well. We have all the important stories you need to get your day going. Sports, very good day for the local teams. There are 8 teams from North Central Washington that made it to the final state tournament in either Spokane or Yakima. 7 of them won yesterday. We got highlights too. And the Kraken go back to work in some spring training news as well. It is Thursday. Pause for pets. Clara the dog needs a home. We'll check in with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And our good friend Dave Erickson dropped by a couple of days ago. Dave is an old friend of this program. He is the director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services for the city of Wenatchee. They have an online survey that they do every few years to find out what you like, don't like about the city parks, what you'd like to see improved, changed. Do you want a new park somewhere? How often do you use the parks? This survey is for anybody. You don't have to be a city of Wenatchee resident. Anybody can take it because everybody uses the parks, regardless of the jurisdiction. Dave Erickson, my guest in the back half of the program. Let's go. Let's see what we have out there. With our cameras around the valley, you can see the high clouds. Looks like it might even be snowing up in the hills above Aniat already. We're not really expecting any snow. We're going to be warmer than that. We'll be in the lower 40s today. Big story today is going to be the wind, especially this afternoon. Right now, it's absolutely calm. There's no wind at all, but that is going to change. It's still going to feel like mid-February as opposed to early March. And as I already mentioned, temperatures will not get anywhere near normal for the forecast period. This cold stretch continues. To Cougar Ridge we go. The camera is on the east side, pointed almost due west. So that's a good hunk of sunny slope right there that we can see. Some of the Old Station industrial area. Sleepy Hollow and the hills around the Monitor area still covered with snow, and it looks like you can just tell if you look to the west to the Cascade Crest that they are starting to get some snow. It's snowing lightly on Stevens. That's going to change. To Badger Mountain we go with a sweeping view of the valley. A couple of days ago, that whole area that you saw there, all those wheat fields were pretty much covered in snow. It has melted, but not much. And the snow isn't really melting, of course. It kind of just dissipates into the air, and you can see a good hunk of the west side of the valley. Of course, East Wenatchee itself is being hidden by the bench above Badger Mountain. And the Rock Island camera, haven't used this one in a long time. That's way up there, as you can see, maybe a little breezy. Of course, it's also exposed to the wind. Good morning to the Rock Island Golf Course. They were open, right before the cold snap. They were open in the middle of February. And then the cold came, and if it gets really cold, they don't let you play golf because you can damage the greens. The greens are very sensitive this time of the year, and even if you're wearing soft spikes, you can bang up the greens pretty good. So when it gets cold, they don't let you play golf, and that's good. We want the course in good shape. Good morning to Rock Island and a pretty good chunk of Malaga on the other side of the river. Windy today, very windy. Wind blowing out of the southwest to the northeast at a pretty good clip. It's calm right now. That's going to change. Take a look at where you live. These are peak wind gusts. So here in the Wenatchee Valley, 30 to 35 miles an hour. The system, as you can see, is coming from the southwest. So the winds will kind of peter out and die down the farther to the northeast you go. So not quite as windy in Chelan, and then you get up to Omak, not quite as windy. But here in the Wenatchee Valley and up in the Warrenville Plateau, wind gusts to 30 to 35 miles an hour. Sustained winds will be about 20 miles an hour tonight. And overnight, it's going to be breezy on Friday. Big snow in the mountain passes, and I mean big snow, and they've had a ton of it this year. There was a winter storm warning for the Cascades. Stevens is going to see snow at the rate of 2 inches an hour through Friday night. They have the possibility of 3 feet of snow on Stevens Pass, less than that on Snoqualmie, and less than that on Blewett Pass, but Stevens at 4,000 feet is going to get hammered with snow for the foreseeable future. All the way through Friday night, it's snowy now, and it ain't going to stop until overnight Friday into Saturday. Lots and lots of snow, and also if you're heading to the Idaho Panhandle, they're going to get a little bit of snow. No real snow down here in the Wenatchee Valley. It's going to skip by us, but it's going to give Stevens Pass a good blast of winter on this third day of March. Apple Valley Honda is the sponsor from the National Weather Service. Your forecast. The big story today is going to be the wind. We'll see some sunbreaks. A stray raindrop possible. Some of that snow may make it to the upper elevations around the valley, but, high of 43, not going to give much. Our normal high, by the way, this time of the year is 47, and yesterday's high was 43 degrees. Big wind today. Sustained winds, about 20 miles an hour. Gusts, as you saw already, between 30 to 35 miles an hour. Clear tonight, still windy. It'll die down a little bit, but not much, and it's going to be pretty cool. 27 for the overnight low. Sunshine Friday, some wind still as the system exits the area with a high of 43. We cloud back up again Friday night, 26 for the overnight low. Here comes another system just in time for the weekend with the rain-snow mix in the morning, rain in the afternoon on Saturday with a high of 38. That's about 10 degrees below normal. So we could get like a half an inch of snow possible Saturday morning. Whatever precipitation we get on Sunday will probably be in the form of rain. Still cold, high of 39 degrees, and this chilly, unsettled weather continues through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. None of those afternoon high temperatures are at normal. Our normal high is 47. Not going to get there, folks. It's been a cold end to February and a cold start to March. 7 minutes after the hour, after we take a break, come right back and join us. We'll have the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
All paws on deck as Ryder and the crew set sail in Paw Patrol Live, the great pirate adventure. For more information, you can go to pawpatrollive.com.
Playing Town Toyota Center March 21st and 22nd. For tickets, visit pawpatrollive.com.
Or you can win a family 4-pack. All you have to do is go to the original children's shop in downtown Wenatchee and get signed up. It's a $106 value. The original children's shop, downtown Wenatchee. Get there, get signed up, and win. It's cloudy, 34 degrees. Will be warmer than that, but really not much warmer. A lot of wind today. Heavy snow in the mountain passes. Sunny and breezy on Friday. More cool and unsettled weather with highs below 40 coming up for the weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A Tacoma couple is suspected of operating a string of massage parlors in Wenatchee that offered illicit sexual services. 60-year-old Lin Wei Yan and his 43-year-old wife Yang Yang were charged Tuesday in Chelan County with leading organized crime, money laundering, and promoting prostitution. Authorities say the couple rented space where they operated 2 massage parlors in Wenatchee and allegedly employed women to offer sexual services at each location. The Columbia River Drug Task Force began investigating the businesses last August. They say that during their investigation, women working at the parlors made offers of sexual contact in exchange for money to undercover officers who posed as clients. Records show that Lin Wei Yang was previously arrested in Lake Charles, Louisiana, on similar allegations in 2019. It wasn't clear as of this morning whether either suspect has been taken into custody. 2 men accused in the murder of a Wenatchee 18-year-old are now being held on $5 million bail. Yari Flores shot to death in his own family bedroom last August 12th, allegedly part of a gang dispute. 28-year-old Javier Valdez was arrested in Walla Walla 2 months later, charged with first-degree murder and burglary. Valdez transported Thursday to the Chelan County Jail after being extradited. He's accused of cooperating in the murder with fellow defendant Marquil Leon Ford, who police say actually fired the fatal shots through Flores' bedroom window. Ford has been held on a $5 million bail since October. Judge Kristen Ferreira on Friday set Valdez's bail also at the same amount, $5 million, citing his record of 8 prior felonies and 11 outstanding warrants. Valdez is also accused of keeping a large supply of fentanyl and other drugs at his apartment in Walla Walla. A Waterville Town Council member pled guilty Wednesday to 2 misdemeanor charges. Excuse me. 34-year-old Cody Pregshaw received a suspended sentence and credit for 1 day already served in jail in exchange for his plea to reckless driving and making false statements to police. Pregshaw was originally charged with felony eluding after he allegedly fled from a Douglas County deputy who attempted to pull him over last October on suspicion of DUI. He later falsely claimed he was out of town at the time of the incident, but police say cell phone records showed he was actually in the Waterville area and in the Wenatchee area. Pregshaw must pay more than $1,400 in fees and fines and serve 2 years on probation. He's been a member of the Waterville Town Council since 2019. The Wenatchee School District Board of Directors has named Corey Callahar as the new superintendent of the district. It was a special board meeting that was held yesterday afternoon. Callahar was one of 3 candidates who took part in public forums of the last week and was the only local candidate considered. All 5 school board members voted to begin the process of negotiating a contract with Callahar that would last 2 years and would begin on July 1st. Callahar currently serves as the district's assistant director of learning and teaching. He would replace Bill Eagle, who's currently serving as the interim superintendent under a 1-year contract from the North Central Washington Educational Services District. And finally, we still got some more stories. Leavenworth City officials wanted to have denser development in their urban growth area. That's the designated land. Well, it will one day grow outside of its present city limits. On February 7th, though, the Chelan County Board of Commissioners unanimously rejected that plan, which would have rezoned minimum lot sizes in the UGA from 10,000 square feet to 8,000 square feet. The commissioners' vote went against the recommendation of the County Planning Board. Commissioner Sean Smith said his vote was based on testimony from residents in the urban growth area. Leavenworth Mayor Carl Floria told NCW Life News that the decision slows Leavenworth's ability to provide much-needed new housing.
People that came to us and asked for help have no say when it comes to their city representation, whether it be the mayor or the city council. They don't get a chance to vote for the people that are making those decisions for them. And that's the duty that I took on when I ran for this office, and the commitment that I made to the rural citizens, stating that I will be your voice if no one else will listen to you. And that's the job that I'm tasked with doing. And the numbers of people that came to me, phone, text, email, in person, was overwhelming, that they did not want to have these decisions made without their say.
We need to get more units. We've done a lot, throughout our town to get more units in. This was a fairly modest, request. We weren't asking for 3,000 square foot lots. We weren't asking for, and so so my request will be, let's continue this discussion. Let's talk some more about this rather than shut it down.
Finally, on this Thursday morning, a sculpture of a salmon that was installed last fall near the Barn Beach Reserve in Leavenworth was stolen last month, and the Wenatchee River Institute would like it back. The sculpture was broken off its base sometime in the evening of February 16th. The sculpture, created with recycled and salvaged metals, was created by Swede Albert, who was a member of the 12 Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation. It was commissioned by the Wenatchee River Institute. Anybody with information on the whereabouts of that statue that you see on your screen, that sculpture, is asked to contact the Wenatchee River Institute at the number that you see on your screen. That's what's making news. A quarter after the hour. It's been a busy week, and it's already been a busy Thursday, and it's barely 7:15 in the morning. We'll have a newscast for you tonight at 5, 6, and 10 with the preview. The anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Unsettled, windy, and wetter weather in our forecast over the next few days. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has scores from state tournament basketball games, and he also has a look at what's on tap for the Kraken. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Appreciate it, Grant. Got a news tip? Love to hear from you. You know what to do. Look at the bottom of your screen. Go to our Facebook page and use the Messenger app. Email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. Or you can also go to our homepage. There's a contact us icon there somewhere. I don't know. When we come back, a very good first day for the local teams in the Hardwood Classic. Highlights and scores with sports. It's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
17 minutes after the hour, 7 of the teams from our area are still alive after day 1 of the WIAA Hardwood Classic in Spokane and Yakima. The only team to drop out of competition with a first-round loss yesterday, Moses Lake Christian. They lost to Odessa 55-50. The free throw line was the difference as the Tigers made 30 trips to the charity stripe and they made 22 free throws from there. Micaiah Cass led the Lions with 22 points. Callie Cast had 11 for Moses Lake Christian. Their season has come to an end. Waterville Mansfield used a big second half. They outscored Yakima Tribal 30-15, and they beat them 53-36 to win their first-round game yesterday. Delaney Nelson and Jasmine Garcia led the way with 16 points apiece.
Has to deal with 3 Eagles as the Shockers are able to get it out to their side of the court. Peterson with it, pretty much quadruple teamed, who will find Jasmine Garcia for 3 and gets it to go.
That's not the end of the game, Austin, I'll tell you what, but that is a dagger right there.
Then 2 minutes to go here in regulation. That is a deep 3 by Peters, and she almost nailed that. That was rimmed in and out, almost getting that, but now the Shockers will take it up.
That could have changed the game, honestly.
And Delaney Nelson with the layup up and in. She has 16 now in the game. Finkbeiner with it as the clock winds down. And the horn will sound, and the game is over. Waterville Mansfield will win it here in Spokane, 53-36.
Way to go, ladies Shockers. Waterville Mansfield will take on Mossy Rock in the quarterfinals today at 2 o'clock. Jonah Robertson had 21 points, made 5 3-pointers to lead Moses Lake Christian to a 58-54 win over Sound Christian in day 1 of the State 1B Boys Tournament in Spokane. So the Lions advance. They'll take on DeSales tonight in the quarterfinals at 7:15. The Okanagan girls finally get another chance to play. They haven't played basketball in a while. They automatically advance to the quarterfinals. They will do battle tonight at 9 o'clock in the State 2B Tournament. The Bulldogs will take on Mabton. The Vikings beating Liberty Spangle last night, 58-47. Chase Marchand scored 22 points. Tanner Kaiser had 12 to lead Lake Roosevelt to a 58-53 win over Wakayakim in the first round of the State 2B Boys Tournament in Spokane yesterday. The Raiders advanced to the quarterfinals. They'll take on Columbia Burbank this morning at 9 a.m. And Brewster also advances to the quarterfinals with a hard-fought 59-49 win over Tri-Cities Prep. Kelson Gebbers leading the Bears with 20 points, despite going down with a rather scary play late in the game.
44 seconds remain in the game. They swing it back over to McClure. McClure, Kelson Gebbers reads it. Kelson's going the bucket, and he jams it, misses a jam, and he hurts his back.
No. Oh, that is not good.
Kelson hit the ground hard as he went to slam the ball.
He did. So he's shooting 2 because the guy shoved him.
Yep, the player shoved him, so Kelson's going to shoot 2 if he gets up. Kelson hit the ground hard, and he is holding his back.
Man.
What a read by Kelson Gebers as he went down to slam it. Kelson up. He says, "You're not getting me out of this one." Kelson Gebers read that up court pass, stole it, and went up and was going to slam it, and he got fouled. So Kelson at the line, shooting 2, short. Ball safe from going out of bounds. 13 seconds remaining, and Brewster Bears going to move on to play tomorrow in double elimination. Tri-Cities Prep doing all they could today and played an outstanding basketball game.
They did.
No reason for anybody to hold their heads down. 59-49, the Brewster Bears come out on top.
Court Gibbers, by the way, had 11 points for the Bears. They move on. They'll take on Napavine today in the quarterfinals at 12:15. Highlights from Kashmir, who survived a defensive battle. Very low-scoring game, 35-30 win. They beat Annie Wright Academy yesterday in the State 1A tournament at the Yakima Valley Sun-Dome. There is Brianna Talley making a free throw to ice the game with 28 seconds remaining, and that helped the Bulldogs to the victory. Gator freshman Aaliyah Martin, a freshman for Annie Wright, scored 24 points. For Kashmir, they advanced to play Noosac Valley this morning at 10:15 in the quarterfinals. And by the way, we will have updates all day today on our Facebook page, so stay close to the internet. A new brand of basketball begins tonight at the Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee. The Wenatchee Bighorns launched their inaugural season in the Basketball League. They'll take on the Seattle Superhawks. Chief Marketing Officer for the Bighorns is Sterling Fournier, and he recently stopped by this very program to visit with their very own Eric Granstrom to talk about the players that will make up the roster.
We have one guy from Wenatchee, Brandon Porter, who works at Cascade, and then probably about 50 to 60% of our team is also sourced from Washington. And then we have a very wide swath. The rest of the players have played overseas or they're from other parts of our country.
So are these fresh out of college guys that didn't go to college, guys that maybe bumped around in other professional leagues that are still trying to hang in there? I mean,
it's all of the above. So we have some guys that have played in professional leagues already. My favorite player, his name is Jalen Smith. He is from, he played overseas in China. Really athletic guy, super good ball handler, just all around good ball player. We've got guys that are fresh out of college, some guys that tried to make it into the NBA draft, but they need one more year of developmental work. So we have players from everywhere, but all of them are really good.
They'll tip off at 7:05 tonight at the Town Toyota Center. You can get your tickets at WenatcheeBighorns.com. We'll have highlights tomorrow right here on this very television station. Seattle Kraken back on the ice today. They're in the Motor City. They'll try to make it 2-0 in the current 4-game road trip. They'll drop the puck with the Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena at 4 o'clock. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. The Mariners out hitting the Cubs 13-7 yesterday, but what really counts is runs. And the Cubs got more. In Cactus League Baseball, Robbie Ray struck out 5 over 3 innings. Julio Rodriguez and Jared Kelnick went deep, but it wasn't enough to get the win.
Here's the next pitch. Julio skies one. Left field. It's deep. It's got some carry. The wind's got a hold of it. And there it goes. A home run for Julio Rodriguez. Julio gets the Mariners on the board. It's 5-1 Chicago here in the fifth. They got a 1-1 pitch. It looked like one of your pitching wedges, Mike. You got it a mile high in the air and got it up in the current, and that baby left here. You realize how hot they come in here? Come on now.
No kidding.
Here's Kelnick. A high drive. Left center field. That baby's going to carry out onto the berm. J.K. with a home run, his third of the season. Back-to-back home runs for the Mariners here in the fifth. It's 5-2 Cubs. Good to see him using the entire field. Third spring home run for Jared Kelnick. To Robbie Ray, second spring start. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A slider to good pitch. Robbie Ray pitches out of trouble. There's Robbie's next pitch. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. Got him. And there's one down. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray. Strike three called on the outside corner. Gomes can't believe it. Ray working quickly into the wind. The pitch. Breaking ball. Got him looking. Robbie Ray strikes out the side. One swinging, two looking. And that's 4 consecutive strikeouts for the Mariner left-hander. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Swung through. That's 5 consecutive hitters struck out by Robbie Ray.
Mariners are 2-4 so far in spring training. They're back to Peoria today to take on the team that they share their spring training facilities with, San Diego, at 12:10. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 25 minutes after the hour. For the obscure holiday, today is National Old Stuff Day. It's a holiday that encourages everybody to get rid of all the junk and the clutter hanging around your house, in your garage, in your attic, in your cellar, and just get rid of it. We have a lot of junk. We accumulate a lot of just stuff we don't need over the course of our adult lives. Every year, 12 million tons of plastic ends up in the ocean, and it keeps increasing every year. Consignment shops, thrift shops, antique shops, they make net profit last year, $17 billion. Maybe selling junk might be the way to do it. The average American creates about 5 pounds of garbage a day for each American, man, woman, and child. We create a lot of garbage. And of those 5 pounds of garbage per person per day, only about a pound of that is either recycled or composted. And recycling creates about 500,000 jobs in this country. So go through the crap you don't need anymore and get rid of it. Guilty as charged. I have a strange affection for inanimate objects. I don't want to throw away this record player. It gave me so much joy. I probably should get past that, but I can't. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the final, March 2nd, 1962. 61 years ago today, the Philadelphia Warriors won 69. The New York Knicks 147. The game was played in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Even though it was the Philadelphia Warriors, they occasionally played home games in Hershey, Pennsylvania for reasons I don't know. But the big story is Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points. 23 points in the first quarter, 18 points in the second quarter, 28 points in the third, and 31 in the fourth. There is no film. There was very little press coverage of it. There are only audio recordings of the game's fourth quarter. The NBA in 1962 wasn't a major sport. Basketball in this country was college basketball. That's what people followed. High school and college pros were very much an afterthought. It barely even made the news the next day, but Wilt Chamberlain scores 100 points in front of a partial sellout in Hershey, Pennsylvania on this date, 61 years ago today. 40 years ago today, compact discs comes to the United States. They have been available in Japan for about a year, but on March 2nd, 1983, 40 years ago today, if you had a lot of money, because compact disc players cost a lot of money, they cost about $1,000, and CDs were very expensive at the time as well, you could enter the brand new world of music on a digital compact disc, which would change the way we would listen to music. I still have my first CD player that I bought 40 years ago. It's in a closet. Speaking of old stuff, I should probably throw it away, but I thought it might be a museum piece one of these days, and it still works. Compact discs in this country. You can go buy one now, 40 years ago today. And finally, in the world of the PGA Tour, a regular PGA Tour event has 140 PGA Tour golfers. 136 are either qualify for a PGA tournament or get a sponsor's exemption. The last 4 to round out the field to 140, they're known on the PGA Tour as rabbits. These are card-carrying members of the PGA Tour who didn't qualify. Well, for the Honda Classic, Kenny Knox didn't qualify. So on the Monday before the tournament, he paid his $100, and you played a qualifying round, one round on the Monday. And if you qualified, you were the last 4 in, and he qualified with the 4th best score, so he was the 140th golfer in the field of 140 at the Honda Classic on this date in 1986, and then he won the tournament. He got first place, won the tournament, got a 3-year exemption on the PGA Tour, got to play all of the PGA Tour events for the next 3 years as the only golfer ever to be the last one in to qualify for a tournament, number 140 out of 140, and wins the tournament. And he shot an 80 in the 3rd round, and he remains the last player to shoot an 80 and win a PGA Tour event. The 1986 Honda Classic, bottom of the hour, birthdays. Ted Geisel, Dr. Seuss, born on this date in 1904, and to think that I found it on Mulberry Street. If I ran the zoo, if I ran the circus, Horton Hears a Who, Cat in a Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, the legend, Dr. Seuss, born on this date in 1904. Another heavenly birthday. I love Lucy and she loves me. We're as happy as two can be. I can't sing anymore. We have to pay royalties. Ricky Ricardo, real name Desi Arnaz, born in the state in 1917. He died in 1986 at the age of 69. And happy 93rd birthday to John Cullum, my favorite character on one of my favorite shows, Northern Exposure. Of course, he played Holly Vincourt, the owner of The Brick. He's also a two-time Tony Award winner. John Cullum, 93 years old today. Plumb right out of time. We'll have to do Pause for Pets tomorrow. But we still got Mike McNaughty coming up and a conversation with Dave Erickson from the Wenatchee Parks Rec and Cultural Services Department. Coming up, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
1989, I moved here in July. My dad farmed, my brother's still on the family farm. I worked for a dealer in Lewiston, Idaho. I was his general sales manager. My boss goes, I got a guy that may be ready for a store. We made one trip here, and that's how I ended up here. I'd never been here in my life, and I had no friends here. I have nothing, you know. I do now. I have a lot of friends here. I mean, this is my home. I love living here.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
You even remember to water the house plants. I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Spring is more than just a time to clean. It's your time to renew, recharge, and spend time with the people you love. At Merry Maids, our cleaning services go beyond the basic services and provide you with a comprehensive clean that will re-energize your home and enhance your life. From everyday routine cleaning or deep cleanings, Merry Maids professional team members can provide you with an unrivaled experience. Call Merry Maids to schedule your cleaning today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. You know, well, we've been wrong about heaven and hell. I realize that we've been taught about these places. It's really screwed up. First of all, hell isn't hot. No, it's not. I mean, you're supposed to be miserable there, right? So instead of being hot, hell must be colder than a well digger's butt with slush, ice, and terminally cold, wet feet. And heaven is supposed to be paradise, right? A place where you're both really comfortable, happy, and thrilled to be there. Okay. So heaven has got to be a place where it's warm, with warm salt water, cold beer, and garlic shrimp. But you know what else is going to be in heaven? Roller coasters, yes! Wild, crazy, upside down and corkscrew roller coasters with never a line you have to wait in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Heaven. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that is my opinion.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
Welcome back to the program. Every once in a while, Dave Erickson reaches out to me, and if it's not too early in the day, I usually say, no, Dave, I don't have time for you. But unfortunately, Dave caught me in a bad day, and I responded, said, you can come on the damn show. Dave Erickson is here, the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services for the city of Wenatchee. Oh, the crowd loves you.
A round of applause.
Round of applause. Yeah, very good. Haven't seen you for a while. We got together, I think it was like October, maybe November, right towards the end of the major construction season, just to get a quick update on your department. And we have a lot to touch on. First of all, real quickly, Winter Special Olympics is back. Back for the first time in 3 years. COVID again. But it's back, and it's kind of snuck up on folks. It's happening, and you need, your department is one of the coordinating groups that help put the folks where they need to be. You need volunteers.
Absolutely. This is the first time, like you mentioned, in a long time that we've had Special Olympics back. We are very excited that it's back in town. One of the best overall activities that you could ever go to. So if you have the opportunity to check out some of the venues around town, the basketball courts, the Town Toyota Center, watch ice skating, figure skating, or even the opening ceremonies, lots happening everywhere, but we do need volunteers. Normally it takes about 700 to 900 volunteers to make this happen and run really smoothly. Everything from court monitors to people assisting with the ski events. So if anybody is interested, have some time this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, give us a call at the Parks office. We can hook you up with Special Olympics and get you all signed up to volunteer.
You don't even need a skill set.
No, so feel free, come on down.
Yeah, and good one, Dave.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of service clubs get together and do like the box lunches and things like that. So it's kind of an all hands on deck kind of a thing.
It is, yeah. When you look at 1,800 athletes in town, plus all of their family members and coaches and assistants and all that, there's a lot of people coming in town for this event, and it really takes a lot of folks to help get this thing organized and going.
And the economic impact in our area, in the Wenatchee Valley, is huge.
It is. It's the largest, from what I've been told anyway, the largest sports tourism event in the valley. So not only that, it's probably one of the biggest tourism events in the valley as well. So really excited to have everybody back in town and seeing this thing going again.
Dave reached out to me because their open space comprehensive plan is out. There's a survey they want you to take online, and we're going to get to the nuts and bolts of that in just a little bit. But let's do a quick update. The big project that's been 10 years now in the making, between the time you started penciling it out to today and through the summer of 2024, Lincoln Park, the biggest park in your system. It's basically going to be a whole new park when it's all said and done. You guys have been working right through the winter.
Yes, yeah, haven't been hibernating. In fact, just had yesterday the splash pad filtration system showed up on a truck, and they're working on getting that installed right now. And so, yeah, it's been working throughout the winter on the interior portions of the restrooms. They got the roof on the picnic shelter. They've been working on the stage, putting the railings up on that. And that work is going to continue all the way up until probably mid to late May. We're hoping that it'll be open and ready for use right around Memorial Day weekend. That park is really going to be spruced up. And then there's another phase coming. The City Council approved some funding to redo the baseball fields. So as soon as we wrap up with all this other work that we've been doing, the baseball fields are going to start as well.
And they need some TLC. The fences are kind of leaning, and the infield is all dirt now. They could use a little spruce up, couldn't it?
Yeah. The Lincoln Park was built over a landfill, and so that settles over time. And as that settles, then the outfields do this kind of wavy motion. So we're going to go in and flatten those out, smooth them out again, replant the grass, and really get it nice and playable.
The contractor's been doing mostly infrastructure work over the wintertime, stuff that you don't see when it's all said and done, nothing aesthetic. Any winter delays on that? Have it been because working through the winters is something that they usually don't do.
Yeah, the snow and the cold started a little bit early. If you look at the soccer field, if you happen to drive by down Crawford Street, you can see there's only half the grass on it right now. So they only got half of it done before the winter hit, and now they'll have to come back in the spring and finish that up. So a few minor things like that, but nothing super significant.
And the folks who live in and around the Lincoln Park area, they're probably really excited about this, because this is one of the, if not the busiest park in your system anyway. I mean, because of all the different things you can do there.
Yeah, it really will become a gathering point for the community down there, especially when you throw in the splash pad in the play area and you have a soccer field right there, so you have all of these amenities. The other thing that we're going to be doing too this summer, and you'll see it in our summer program, is our summer concert series. We'll be moving from Centennial Park down to Lincoln. We're going to have a Tardiatas program on Sunday afternoons down there. And then also our movie in the park will be coming back, which hasn't been to the park in a few years. So should be a lot of new and fun activities happening as well.
And I wanted to mention Lincoln Park, the renovation project, because this is a 10-year project. The original planning goes back. And this all goes back to the survey that you asked the people who use the parks to take. Say, this is your park. These parks belong to you. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see in the parks? And then you meet that need and make the necessary adjustments, which brings us to the online survey that you want the folks to take.
Yeah, so Lincoln Park, as an example, that started in the 2012 comprehensive plan. So every 6 years, the city has to put together a comprehensive parks and open space plan to be eligible for a number of different grant programs. And really, that's a chunk of the funding that paid for the Lincoln Park project, as well as a number of other projects that we've had around the city. So every 5 years then, or the year before our 6-year plan is up, then we have to do a community survey, and so this is part of that. So we do an electronic survey now, and it goes out to the community, say, what would you like to see in your parks? What's working well, what's not working well, what would you like for arts, what would you like for recreation programs? We take that information, combine it with various other plans that have been done recently, throw that all in the big blender, stir it up, and then produces our goals and objectives and priority projects for the upcoming 6 years and beyond. So it's really that first step. And so a couple of examples of projects that we are completing in this current comp plan would be Chase Park. We redid the playground out there. Hale Park was included in our current plan, and Lincoln Park. So we've got several different park projects that really resulted from the survey, through the survey process.
And what about, I guess the newest park is probably the Rotary Park up on Western in that area there on the far west side of town. Again, the need was there, the city was growing, we need to have a big set aside place for the public to use. What's next as far as any new parks that might be on the horizon? Anything out there as the city continues to grow to the west and to the north?
Yeah, so there are a couple that are percolating right now that we've actually applied for grants for acquisition, and you'll hopefully hear more about that in the next year to two once we actually get those grants. And then we're always looking at the urban growth area for future annexations or future park areas. So in our current comp plan, we do show the need for a neighborhood park or community park, kind of on the north end of town, out on the north side of the Wenatchee River. That hasn't come to fruition yet, and I would anticipate it would still be in the plan as we move forward.
And I know that the Chelan County PUD is the governing agency for Riverfront Park for their relicensing, but it's all really kind of one big park. You don't really know when you're leaving one jurisdiction to the other, and they got some big plans, and you guys play a role in that too.
Yes, we've partnered with them. 2021, they actually started the master plan process to pretty much take everything from Thurston Street on the south end all the way up to 9th Street on the north end to redo that master plan for that entire area. Had a number of community input meetings and processes for that. And we're getting close to going out to bid. So right now they've taken several of the key elements of that park. So another splash pad, play equipment, trail enhancements, things like that, and put those in that first phase of development. So they're right now narrowing down those plans, refining them, hopefully get that out to bid right around the end of this year, if not early next year, for construction in 2024. So see some improvements coming down on the riverfront as well.
The fact of the matter is that we have a thriving park system with all of the governmental agencies involved: City of Wenatchee, City of East Wenatchee, Douglas County, Chelan County, state parks, the PUDs. That people like that. People come to Wenatchee to enjoy the parks. They notice these things, don't they? The out-of-towners.
Yeah, and we're seeing it more and more, especially up in the foothills. It's not uncommon to see a van parked there with like Everett Parks and Recreation or somebody else on the side, and they've brought a bicycle group over to do mountain biking up in the foothills, or hike groups and things like that. So it really is. You're seeing outdoor recreation as a key component to the community.
And it's funny because the western side of the valley was an afterthought for years.
Right.
I mean, there was some rudimentary trails in the Saddle Rock area and up above Appalachia, really about it. Mm-hmm. But you saw the need, you addressed the need, and now people flock to it.
Yeah, and that really came out of a whole community involvement process back in about 2001. The community got together and said, hey, we really need to have a plan for the foothills out here, and led by the Chelan Douglas Land Trust and citizens, really. They put together the first Foothills Trails plan, and that's been slowly over the last 20 years has been implemented. And we're getting really close to kind of wrapping up that initial vision and moving on now to the next phase of that.
They say the only people who make a difference are those who show up, and the impetus was all this was as the mega structures and the super nice houses begin to go farther and farther up the East Wenatchee bench, people turn around and look the other way and say, we don't want to see that on our side of the river, so let's make this as much public land as possible. Nothing against private developers, and they're still hanging around, but it keeps the aesthetic beauty of the valley intact.
Yeah, and the Foothills Community Strategy was another community-led effort to plan the foothills, but also then look at things from not only outdoor recreation, habitat preservation, but also development. Which of the areas would be the most likely to be developed and should be developed in the most thoughtful manner possible. So really combined all of those together, combined the development community with real estate agencies, and then the conservation groups all together to come up with this one unique plan. And really that's being used as a model for other organizations around the state.
Yeah, a perfect example of that would be Kenzie's Landing. A great private-public partnership in that the owners of the property could have held out and sold it to developers for a ton of money and walked away with it, but they said, no, let's make this another large, unbuilt-upon tract of land so people can enjoy it.
Right, yeah, 61 acres. We acquired that through a state grant and help of our friends the Land Trust and then the private property owners. And for the last year, I've been working on the trailhead up there, and this is a state-funded development project. So there'll be a brand new trailhead at the end of Maiden Lane starting April 21st at 4 o'clock. We're going to cut the ribbon and dedicate that, and then it'll be open to the public. So the trailhead itself is a small trailhead, not like Saddle Rock, which is huge, but 10 parking spots, but we'll access that section of the foothills.
Getting back to the survey real quick, it's very simple. If you just go to the city of Wenatchee and, well, we'll walk you. You'll see it up on the screen. A couple of examples, basically, what parks do you visit? How often do you visit the parks? What would you like to see? Give us some sample questions that people can answer on the survey.
Yeah, a couple of the questions that we do ask are questions that we had before. So we asked them in the last comprehensive plan and want to then take those results and compare it with what we currently have out of these results. So that way we can see what the differences are. But really, some of them are, what is missing? What is missing from the parks that you would like to see? What programs are you really interested in? What should be the priority for the programs? Is it special needs programs? Is it stuff for kids? Is it stuff for seniors? What is that priority? And then also some of the bigger projects that have been asked for over the years, like a regional sports complex, things like that. Are those things important, or are they not important, or do you just not even care in the middle? So a variety of different questions.
It's parks, recreation, and cultural services. Let's go to recreation. Your summer guide's already out. It's out there. It's downloadable off the website. It's also going to be all over the place. It's the complete schedule of all the activities for the kids to participate in, the wading pools, swimming lessons, the whole 9 yards. It's a great one-click to find out what you want to do come spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah, so it's on there. It's got our fall preview as well as our current summer programs. The important one for everybody to know is the day camp registration date. That's the one that we get the most phone calls on. April 1st, you can sign up for day camps online on our website. And it also contains the pool schedule. So you'll be able to know, what the daily schedule is, when to sign up for swim lessons, and when you can swim.
And we need to mention this, the pool's going to have an abbreviated year this year. As you know, there's some significant infrastructure issues with the pool. It's what happens when it gets to be 60 years old. Those are going to be, it has to be done in fairly pleasant and benign weather, so that slightly shorter calendar for the city pool this year.
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks shorter. So we're going to wrap up the end of July this year, and that then gets the contractor enough time to go in, do all the demolition work on the pool bottom, take out all the old piping, put in the new piping, and then put in the new plaster liner in the pool and have it cure before the cold temperatures hit, hopefully late 2023. So we can get that all finished. But it'll be all new tile, new plaster. Our Public Works Department is working on the new boiler, putting that in. So it should be a nice facility for a number of years.
It's actually amazing considering all the issues that you had to deal with last year that you still kept it running and going. I mean, it was like, there was like some serendipitous thing was overlooking and said, we're going to keep you guys going despite the issues.
There was a lot of duct tape last year. Yeah.
What else is on your mind while I have you here, Dave? This is a rare treat. What else is happening in your department before we cut you loose?
Yeah, so a couple other projects that are ongoing that are just people notice as they're driving around town. So intersection of Yakima and Okanagan Street. It's kind of a triangle-shaped piece of
community
property.
garden.
Yep, that'll be a community garden up there. Our garden beds are here. And so now we're starting to work on getting the site ready to install those and get the water utilities in. We have to wait for the ground to defrost a little bit more first. But work is starting up there on that. Rotary Park, we're putting in, converting, we've got a full-size basketball court, converting half of it to 2 pickleball courts. The other half will remain basketball. It's going to get all brand new surface over it, and so you'll see that work starting here probably in late March when the weather warms up. And so you have 2 permanent pickleball courts out there, as well as the basketball court. So a number of other little projects happening. We're also working on a Native Peoples recognition project for Memorial Park, and that one is in final design right now. Probably won't be finished until 2025 because of the length of time it takes to create the sculptures and things, but that's ongoing too. So
folks can you can rent out for private parties, picnic shelters, all kinds of city facilities. It's very simple. You just go online and fill out the form. Do you see a time with the explosion in popularity of pickleball that some of these pickleball courts are going to have to be like on a reserve basis instead of a first come first serve, so you don't have any conflicts with 97 people showing up to play on 3 pickleball courts?
Yeah, actually that's something we've heard from other jurisdictions, is that we may have to go to a reservation system. We're going to start with the two at Rotary, see how it goes over the first summer, and then if we need to do something like that, we will. But from what I understand, pickleball players, they're very competitive. They love their pickleball, but they're also considerate of one another, and so they will put their paddles in order for the next game along the fence or something like that. So.
And one more little thing, we'll cut you loose. Dave works for the city of Wenatchee, but he's a Kashmir guy. Lifeguards. I mean, the Kashmir City Pool was like, we might not even be able to open. We don't have enough warm bodies. We don't have enough certified people with their CPR and Red Cross certificate. How you doing for summertime help in that regard?
Yeah,
I mean, it's one thing to have the city pool, but it's another thing to have a city pool and you don't have enough people to actually operate it.
Yeah, we were really fortunate last year to have a really strong crew of lifeguards. We're anticipating a number of those folks coming back this year, and like anything else, they, with a young staff, they'll get to a certain point and then they go on to actual real career jobs, and not many of them will stay as a lifeguard, but maybe a few will. So we will start seeing our applications kind of really pick up right around spring break. So we're a couple of weeks away, and then we'll start. Of course, if anybody wants to apply now, they can. We have our applications online. But we'll start picking up our guards again here in a few weeks.
Now, there's all kinds of seasonal jobs that Dave's department does. It's not just the pool, but they're all over the place. I'll close out with this funny little story. My youngest sister, one of the very first summertime jobs that she had when she was growing up, I'm not going to mention BJ's name. I told her I wouldn't. She went to work for your predecessor, Chuck Large, and she said it was one of the best jobs she ever had, running all kinds of different programs with Parks and Rec. And she said it was a great learning experience for her.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that are teachers now, or shoot, you name it, and they'll come back. One of our council members worked for us back in the day as a rec leader. So you never know. It's a good opportunity. It's a great first job. Not only do they get the experience and get the paychecks, but it's just a good opportunity to learn how to be a productive employee too.
Go to the city's website, take the survey, give Dave the feedback that he needs to do his job. And you don't have to just live in the city of Wenatchee. You live anywhere in North Center. If you live in East Wenatchee and you enjoy the Wenatchee parks, take the survey. because this is how all this works. These are everybody's parks. This is giant unbuilt upon spaces for the public to use and enjoy the beautiful Wenatchee Valley. So take the survey. Let Dave know what you like, what you don't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. Dave Erickson, good to see you, my friend.
Thanks, you too, Dan.
Yeah, take the rest of the day off.
All right, perfect.
I'll clear it with my brother.
Okay.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Ready to wrap up this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, understanding it's snowing lightly in the Peshaston area, the Dryden area, and in Leavenworth. It happens. Just a couple of stray flakes here and there in the Wenatchee Valley. It is 32 degrees. This long period, we've gone, I think, 8 days in a row now with our afternoon high not getting up to normal. Well, that's going to continue right through the forecast period. The big story today, weather-wise, for the north central Washington area, is going to be the wind. It's going to be very windy, especially this afternoon. There's no real wind at all right now, but that's going to change as the day progresses. By this afternoon, we'll see sustained winds of a good 20 miles an hour, and as you can see there, gusts in the Wenatchee Valley to 30 to 35 miles an hour. So this is the next system that we've been keeping a close eye on over the next couple of days. It's going to bring us windy conditions today, tonight, and really for most of Friday. Then we calm down on Friday night, so get ready for some breezy conditions. And the mountain passes are just gonna get hammered, especially Stevens Pass. They say Stevens Pass is gonna see the snow come down later on today at the rate of about 2 inches an hour, starting about noon today. It's snowing on Stevens Pass right now, but it's not snowing real hard. But it's gonna come down at the rate of about 2 inches an hour from about noon this afternoon to about Friday night, about 9 or 10. That's a lot of snow. They're talking the possibility of 3 feet of snow on Stevens Pass. Yes, Snoqualmie is going to get snow as well. Blewett's going to get snow. The Idaho Panhandle is going to get snow, and a little bit in the far eastern quadrant of the state. But Stevens is just going to get a lot of it. Heads up on that. Apple Valley Honda is the sponsor for the National Weather Service. Chance of some light snow today, maybe mixed with rain. Chance of precipitation really isn't much, but it's out there. We need to mention it. High today of about 43. We'll see some sun breaks this afternoon as the wind begins to scour out the clouds in the sky, but that's the big story today is the wind. Sustained winds about 20 miles an hour this afternoon, gusts near 30 to 35 for the valley. Still windy tonight. Wind about 20 miles an hour, and clear skies means chilly temperatures 27 for the overnight low. Lots of sunshine all day Friday. Cool again, high of 43. Our normal high this time of the year is 47, and still windy on Friday night, so we catch a bit of a break on Friday, and then the next system comes in on Saturday. We'll start to cloud up on Friday night. By Saturday, we could see some light snow in the morning with a high of 38. Saturday night, light snow possible, not a big chance, 28 for the overnight low. And we close out the weekend with lots of clouds and some light precipitation and high of about 40. And that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.